At some social cleavages of the UK, United Kingdom. Looking at civil society is really when we look at some of the social cleavages. So some areas there that we need to discuss first are noblesse oblige. So this is kind of the duty that the upper class, again, takes a responsibility and helps out the lower class or provides welfare of some sort. So this is what they feel is necessary to create that strong civil society. And the UK is known as a welfare state, and an example of that would be the National Health Service that they provide. So everyone gets that National Health Service. Again, a welfare state is providing opportunities for citizens through government programs. They also have a strong political party system where political parties do matter and they have strong elections. They have the Quangos, which we have discussed. Those Quangos are kind of like interest groups that work with the government. They implement policies created by the government, and there's thousands and thousands of different groups. They also have different unions and organizations like the Trade Unions Congress or the Confederation of Business Industries. When looking at media as well, this is one of your linkage institutions in the UK, and there's different newspapers that reflect divisions in the social classes and parties. The BBC is the public television that they pay into. There's a licensing fee there, and it helps fund the BBC, but that's their public broadcasting station. The government does regulate TV. Again, there's no political ads, which is a lot different than the United States, and it does regulate what is on TV, but for the most part, media is pretty free of censorship. Well, another one of those institutions that link the government would be the Trade Union Congress. It's a trade union that's very, very powerful. Again, government consults with them sometimes on important decisions. They lost some power during the Margaret Thatcher era, the Thatcherites, or they still have some influence. There's also the other side of it, the business side. So the Confederation of Business Industries, they kind of balance out that trade union to fight for the business and business owners. There's also the Anglican Church, or the Church of England, and that's where the Queen is the head of the church. They used to have a large influence in Parliament and the House of Lords, but not so much anymore. Now we got to look at the different national identities that make up the UK. So first off, you have England, which contains the majority of the population, dominates most of the politics and the other nationalities. Okay, so they have a disproportionate power because of the amount of people within their nation. Then you have Wales. They became subject to the king in the 16th century. They do had Plaid Cymru, which is the political party in Wales. They still have their own language. There's some resentment there, so they are another kind of faction, if you would like to call it that, in the UK. You have Scotland. Many years of Scots resisting British rule has created tension. They view themselves much differently than those people that live in England. There is a Scottish Parliament that has some power, so some devolved power there that has recently reassembled, and they can create some local laws. Then you have Northern Ireland, which is separate from Ireland. English have dominated Ireland for centuries. When Ireland, the Catholic portion of Ireland, was granted home rule after World War I. There's the northeastern part of the corner of Ireland, which is 60% Protestant, was kind of excluded there. Then in 1949, Ireland gained some freedom, but Northern Ireland decided to stay and has stayed with the UK. And there's some more confrontation here when it comes to Northern Ireland. Again, you have the Catholic versus Protestant division. You have the terrorist organization, the IRA, terrorism that was against Protestant Northern Ireland and the UK. The UK military was sent up there to kind of control that area and put under occupation. Then in 1998, there's Good Friday Agreement, where the Catholics have more of a say. Now there's much peace. There's not much tension currently right now in Northern Ireland. Then we have to talk about some ethnic minorities that create some of these cleavages. Some Eastern European countries have moved to UK looking for more jobs. Again, because of the EU, before the UK left the EU, there was no border, so the EU was controlling this immigration. So a lot of different nationalities would move into the UK looking for work. Only about 7.1% of the population is non-European, so a lot of immigrants are from Europe, but there are some non-European immigrants. Again, there's Indian, Pakistani, Afro-Caribbean, some black African individuals moving from these countries to the UK looking for work. And a lot of times they get unfair police and economic treatment. A biggest one is that your Muslim integration. So Pakistani Muslims are the biggest population here in the UK, and they have not been integrated into UK mainstream society very well. National UK culture clashes with the Muslim culture. If you look at the hijab, which are Muslims that they wear, in order for them to attend school sometimes, they wanted to. There was some resentment there. But again, they are still treated or feel like they're treated as second-class citizens. Then you're looking at the Muslim minorities again. It's growing population. There's some homegrown terrorism, and we look at 2005 for the example with the uh, London attack and the buses and the subways. Again, murdered, killed 52 people, and this was because of the opposition to the Iraqi war. Again, a lot of people looked at terrorism as the IRA in Northern Ireland. They never thought this would be an issue that they would have to talk about. In the last division in cleavages, we always look at education. There's a large gap between the working and middle class and the elite. A lot of the elite go to public boarding schools that they can pay for. The middle class students go to their private schools that are local and nearby. And then the lower class, they usually attend the poor funded public schools. There's a couple of elite colleges, Oxford and Cambridge, and you kind of must go there to be someone, they say. Those are the two biggest ones. However, there are more universities that are beginning to offer a lot more higher education programs.